Dear students, good morning to all. My name is S.MANI. I am a joint teacher. Today I am going to teach about 8th standard economics second lesson, public and private sector. In this lesson, I would like to teach about India. India is our country. It lies in Asian continent. It is the first largest country in South Asia. It is the second largest country in Asia. It is the 7th largest country with area in the world. It is the second highest populated country in the world next to China. Before independence, India was agrarian economy. India was industrially very backward country. In India, there was a high degree level of poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, social unrest, political discontent, economic distress, racial discrimination, inequality, disparity. All these challenges which prevent the economic growth of the country. In order to promote Indian economy, Indian government established a mixed economy. Mixed economy is an economy. It is run by both the private sector and public sector. Mixed economy is an economy. It is run by both private sector and public sector. Both private and public sector how to coexist to play an equal role for the development of Indian economy, which is the first largest country in South Asia, India, which is the second largest country in Asia, India. India holds which ranks in world with area, 7th place, which is the second highest populated country in the world, India. What is known as mixed economy? Mixed economy is a system of economy. In this system, both public sector and private sector coexist, cooperate each other, do their best level. They play a vital role for progress of the country. Next, I would like to teach about the definition of public sector. All the industries, companies, institutions, organizations which are run and operated by only governments, hence they are called public sector. Public sectors are maintained by central government at national level, state governments at state level, local governments at regional level. Public sectors how to redistribute government goods and service to all general publics. What is known as the definition of public sector? All the industries are organized by only governments, hence they are called public sector. What is called history of the public sector? India got independence on August 15, 1947. It became a republic on January 26, 1950. India was basically agrarian economy. India was industrially very backward country. After advent of British in India there were only 18 industries. So as to expand number of industries in India, Indian government organized the Bombay Plan in 1940. Industrial Policy Resolution 1948. Planning Commission was implemented in 1950. Indian Industrial Act was passed in 1951. Second 5-year plan was implemented in 1956 to 1960. Industrial policy resolution was implemented in 1956. All these policy which enabled India for expansion of many industries on large scale. Name the plan was implemented in 1940, Bombay Plan. Name the resolution was started in 1948, Industrial Policy Resolution. When was Planning Commission adopted? 1950. When was Industrial Act enacted? 1951. When was second 5-year plan implemented? 1956 to 60. When was second Industrial Policy Resolution adopted? 1956. Next we will start objectives of public sector. There are two sectors in India, public sectors and private sectors. There are private sectors, public sectors which play a vital role for development of economic activities, political activities, social activities, cultural activities, educational activities, industrial activities, financial activities also. Public sector which promote a redistribution of goods and service to the people. Public sector has to accelerate for export promotion and import substitution. Public sector is very essential for high standard of living of the people, status and dignity of the people, prosperity of the country, economic development of the country. Its role is very important, public sector. Public sector which play a vital role to give many opportunity for the development of the country. Organs of public sector. There are 3 organs of public sector. Administration by government departments, joint sector companies, public corporations. Administration by government departments, for example, postal departments, telegraph departments, railway departments, port trust, irrigational projects, all these which come under the administration by government departments. Next, joint sector companies. Under these companies, Indian Oil Petronas Private Limited, Indian Oils Sky Tanking Limited, Ratnagiri Gas and Power Limited, Ratnagiri Gas Power Limited, Indian Synthetic Rubber Limited. These companies which come under the control of joint sectors. Public corporation, LIC, Life Insurance Corporation, NLC, Naval and Lignite Corporation, Air India, Reserve Bank of India, Electricity Board. These are more important for public corporations. Name the industries which come under the control of administration by government departments, postal departments, telegraph departments, railway departments, port trust and irrigational projects. Name the institution which come under the joint sector companies. Indian Oil Petronas Private Limited, Indian Oil Sky Tanking Limited, Ratnagiri Gas and Power Limited, Indian Synthetic Rubber Limited. What are the best example of public corporation? A public corporation, for example, LIC, NLC, Air India, Reserve Bank of India, and Electricity Board. Electricity Board, Reserve Bank of India, Air India, LSC, NLC, these are the best example of public corporations. Next, classification of industries. There are, classification of industries, organs of public sector. Organs of public sector. Then next, classification of industries. Industries have been classified into three categories, three classifications: Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C. Schedule A, under the system, industries would be exclusively run by states or referred as Schedule A. The industries or institution or organization which would be exclusively run and operated by states or referred as Schedule A. Schedule B. Schedule B, under the system, the state is more responsible for maintenance of and the establishment of number of new industries. Schedule B. Schedule C, under the system, remaining industries, the rest of the industries which are brought under the influence of private sectors, that is called Schedule C. There are three categories of industries: Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C. Schedule A. Schedule A, under the system, the industries would be exclusively run by states or referred as Schedule A. Schedule B, under this system, the state is more responsible for the establishment of number of new units, new forms, new industries. Schedule C, under the system, remaining industries, rest of the industries which are controlled by private sectors, that is called Schedule C. Niti Aayog. Niti stands for National Institution for Transforming India. National Institution for Transforming India. It is a new scheme. This scheme was implemented by central government. It was implemented on January 1, 2015. The scheme which provides government funds to ministers and states. What is the expansion of Niti Aayog? National Institution for Transforming India. When it was implemented? January 1st, 2015. What is the main goal of this institution? It distributes government funds to ministers and states. Then, next, public and private, what are the indicators of social and economic developments? What are the indicators of social and economic developments? GDP. GDP is one of the best example of social economic development. GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product. It determines the status and dignity of the people. It provides life to the people. It changes the lifestyle of the people. It improves economic growth of the country. Prosperity of the country, economic growth of the country, dignity and status of the people, employment of the people, they are depending upon only GDP. GDP, which increases the government funds and public spending. It increases government funds and public spending. GDP is also one of the best factor for socio-economic development. Then, life expectancy. As per 2011 census, life expectancy of the men in India was 65.80 years. As per 2011 census, the life expectancy of women in India was 68.33 years. Indian government took several steps for the enrichment of life expectancy of the people. Government launched a union budget, National Health Protection Scheme. These two schemes were implemented by the government to rescue the condition of poor people and vulnerable people. Poor people and vulnerable people. Life expectancy. What was the life expectancy of men in India as per 2011 census? 65.80 years. As per 2011 census, what was the life expectancy of the women in India? 68.30 years. 30 years. Name the schemes which were implemented by the government to rescue the condition of the poor people and the vulnerable people. Union budget and the National Health Protection Scheme. Literacy. Literacy is very important for development of socio-economic development. Literacy only which eliminate unemployment. Elimination of unemployment, elimination of poverty, elimination of all issues with help of literacy. Central governments launched the SSA scheme, Service Shikshan Abhiyan scheme. SSA stands for Service Shikshan Abhiyan scheme. This scheme was implemented by central government to provide free and compulsory education to all the people from 6 to 14 years. Later, central government implemented RMSA scheme, Rashtriya Madhyamik Service Shiksha Abhiyan scheme. This scheme also which provide free and compulsory education to the people. In addition to, governments launched a number of smart classes, free e-learning classes, free computer skill-based classes, eco-friendly studying environment, and digital classes, Digital India, eco-friendly studying environment, free e-learning classes, free computer skill-based classes, smart classes, RMSA scheme, SSS scheme, all these projects which enable the students to get a very skillful education. These programs which provide a modern education, western education, scientific education, vocational education, training education, research education, employment-oriented education to the people. Many students, after education, many students get employment today itself because government implements a lot of schemes which create skillful education to the peoples. Then employment. Many peoples migrated from rural to urban in search of employment. That's why government set up number of smart cities with the hospitals, schools, colleges, institutions, industries, marketing centers to generate employment to many people on larger scale. In addition to this, set up industries in backward regions to provide employment to the people. So employment is very important. Employed people do not enter in any crimes and corruption. Those people always busy. They will affect only their job. They will give a service. They earn money. They bring the earning to uplift their family, to give a proper education to the children. They should be very honest. Unemployed people only involve in the corruption. Unemployed people are very important factor for all the issues of the world. So employment is also generation of employment by only public sectors. Provision of house to many low-class peoples, illiterate peoples, middle-class peoples, very poor peoples, and vulnerable families also. provision of houses, provision of free houses, provision of clean drinking water, provision of sanitation. Provision of sanitation is a very essential factor for socio-economic development. Employment is also a very important factor of socio-economic development. Literacy also, life expectancy, literacy, GDP, these are the indicators of socio-economic developments. I come to conclude this lesson. I taught the first part of this lesson. I am going to teach second part of the lesson, second part. From the first part, students, please you should know about what is India, what is the position of India, what are the challenges which are faced by India, why India is a backward country still now, what are the reasons. Just you want to realize and find the reason and rectify the reason, and you are the pillar of the wall to try to bring the country as a prosperous countries. From the lessons, you should know about definition of the public sector, history of the public sector, objectives of the public sector, organs of public sector, classification of industries, Niti Aayog, then indicators of socio-economic development. All these concepts. First, I would like to explain about the importance of the public sector. In India, there are two sectors because India follows mixed economy. As India follows mixed economy, in this economy, two sectors play a vital role, equal role, public sectors and private sectors. Then private sectors, public sector are very important. Its role is very important. Its role is very significant for the development of economy. First, I would like to explain about the importance of the public sector. Capital formation. Public sector only gives more attention for capital formation, collection of taxes, collection of revenue, process of income, capital formation, investment, revenue, money, capital resource. The capital formation which is very essential to meet the basic necessity of the country. Capital formation which help the people to meet their basic requirements, daily basic requirements, not only for the people, country's welfare also. Next, economic development. Public sector which established many heavy and large scale industries in urban centers, rural centers, backward areas. Economic development is depending upon the large scale industries. Economic development very essential for the lifestyle of the people. Public sectors only gives much importance for the economic development of the country. In addition to public sector which establishes number of industries in backward areas, rural areas to generate more employment to large people through all these industries. After establishment of number of large scale industries in the backward areas, public sector want to maintain balanced rural developments. Public sectors which is able to generate employment opportunity to people. Private sectors which provide employment to only particular people, whereas the public sectors which provide employment to rural people, urban people, educated people, uneducated people, skilled people, unskilled people, low class people, middle class people, upper class people, all categories people have to get employment from public sector. Public sector is responsible for generation of employment. Public sector to give a life to the people, to protect the life of the people. generation of employment, creation of employment only by public sector. Export promotion and foreign exchange through State Trading Corporation, Minerals and Metal Trading Corporation, Bill Company, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, Hindustan Machine Tool companies, HMT, Hindustan Machine Tool Industries, Bharat Heavy Electrical Industries, Minerals and Metal Trading Corporation, State Trading Corporation, all these companies which produce a lot of goods to export goods to various parts of the country to gain large amount of foreign exchange. Public sector only accelerate export promotion and foreign exchanges. Public sector which protect sick industries. In India, there are many cottage industries, village industries, rural industries, small scale industries, very small scale industries, medium industry, micro industries. These type of industries have been declined because of economic crisis. Whereas after implementation of the public sector have to give a much importance for protection of sick industries. Import substitution. Public sector accelerate import substitution through ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, Indian Oil Corporation, Bill Company, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited. These three companies which produce surplus goods to meet the domestic consumers' requirements, to increase export, to reduce import level. It accelerates import substitution also. Public sector which accelerate import substitution through ONGC, Indian Oil Corporation and Bill Company. Public sector which accelerate export promotion and foreign exchange through State Trading Corporation, Minerals and Metal Trading Corporation, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited and Hindustan Machine Tool Limited. What are the difference between public sector and private sectors? Public sectors are organized and controlled by and maintained by only governments. Hence they are called public sector. Private sectors are organized by, controlled by, maintained by only private individuals or group of people. Public sectors are depending upon the living taxes, government taxes. Government taxes are very essential for maintenance of public sector. Private individuals, their own money, revenue, investment, capital, their own personal loan, which are very essential for maintenance of private sectors. Public sector which ensure proper wages for the workers. Private sector which provides only minimum wages for the workers. Sometimes the private sector which exploit the workers. Private sectors are not ready to provide proper wages to the workers. Whereas the public sectors always, every time they are ready to provide and promote proper wages to the workers. Public sector which does not allow to concentrate huge investment in a few hands of rich people. Whereas the private sector which allows to concentrate huge wealth in a few hands or rich. In the public sector, all people are equal. All are equal in front of the eyes of the Constitution. Public sector is not responsible to create rich of the people. In this sector, all people are equal. Whereas in private sector, some people will become rich. Few people will become wealthy due to influence of the private sectors. In public sector, there is no tax evasion. In public sector, all the workers, officials, non-officials, workers who are belonging to, who are associating with the public sector, they have to pay the tax to the government compulsory. No tax evasion in public sector, whereas in private sector, tax evasion is impossible. Tax evasion is possible. Because in the private sector, many people may not pay the tax. Only few people should pay the tax. Tax evasion is possible in private sectors. No tax evasion in public sector. In between public sector and private sectors are service-oriented sectors. Public sectors are ready to render its service to the people, service to the society, service to the country. Private sectors also provide service to the society, but with the expectation of profits. Private sectors are profit-oriented sectors. Public sectors are service-oriented sectors. What are the best examples of public sectors? For example, LIC. LIC stands for Life Insurance Corporation. NLC stands for Naval Lignite Corporation. BSNL stands for Bharat Sanjay Nigam Limited. BEL stands for Bharat Heavy Electric Limited. SAIL stands for Steel India Authority, Steel Authority of India Limited. Steel India Authority of India. SAIL, BEL Company, BSNL Company, SAIL Company, LESSON, NLC. These are the best example of public sectors, public companies. What are the best examples of the private companies, private sectors? For example, Ashok Leyland, TVS Groups, TVS Motor Companies, Tata Consultancy, Tisco, Tata Iron and Steel Company, Wipro Company, Infosys. These are the best examples of private sectors. Reservation. In public sector, there is a reservation. Out of 100%, 69% seats are reserved for only communal reservation. Out of 16%, 30% of the reservation seats for BC, 20% of the reservation seats for MBC, 15% of the reservation seats for SC, 3% of the reservation seats for SCA, 1% reservation seats for ST community. Rest of the 31% is only open competition. 31% there is no communal reservation. It is open competition in this system. All the people are eligible to get admission based on merits only. There is a reservation in public sectors. That's why people like only public sector. Reason public sector only has to provide a reservation for communal basis. Public sector which provides employment to all the people on based on reservation. Reservation is impossible in private sectors. In private sectors, has to maintain only based on merits, based on influence and domination. In private sector, there is no reservation possibilities, whereas in the public sectors, there is reservation. These are the differentiation in between public sector and private sectors. In between public sector and private sector, after studies this differentiation, public sectors only the best one for the welfare of the people. Private sector. What is the definition of private sectors? All the industries, companies, factories, institutions which are run and operated by group of people or private individuals, that is called private sectors. Private sectors has to give more importance for maintenance of small scale industries, very small scale industries, micro industries, medium industries, agro-based industries, forest-based industries, cottage industries, village industries, rural industries, road construction, air transport, shipping, animal husbandry, poultry, all these industries which are under the influence of private sectors. Private sectors give more importance for development of all these industries. What are the major private industries? Infosys, Wipro companies, Ashok Leyland, Tata Consultancy, Tata Reliance Groups, Tisco, Tata Iron and Steel Company. These are the best example of major private industries. What are the functions of the private sectors? Private sectors must give more attention towards innovation and modernization in their industries. In private industries, private companies, private institutions, firms, agriculture, all field of the private sectors, they have to implement science and technology, implementation of science and technology, implementation of education, implementation of modernization, implementation of infrastructure, implementation of innovation. They have to adopt innovation and modernization in all the fields, private sectors. That's why private sector how to succeed more. Private sectors, they are giving service based on only profits. Without profits, they are not ready to render their service. With their service, with the expectation of profits. If there is a profits, they are ready to give more service. Unless profits, they drop their ideas, they are not interested to give more concentration towards their service. All the private sectors are profit-oriented sectors. The private sectors have to give more infrastructures in the field of industries and agriculture and trade and commerce. Infrastructures. They spend a lot of money for the development of all the basic necessity, basic facilities in all the spheres. Infrastructure is very important. They spend a lot of money to give more importance for infrastructure of the industries. Business. Private sectors only have to involve in internal business, international business, trade, commerce, community business, human capital. They maintain business and trade and commerce because business, trade and commerce only how to bring more income to the sectors. Then public sectors, private sectors have to give more opportunity for development of business. Private sectors which undertakes S.MANI. S.MANI stands for Small, Micro, Medium Enterprises. Small, Micro, Medium Enterprises. Small industries, very small industries, micro industries, medium industries, village industries, cottage industries, rural industries, agriculture industries, agro-based industries, animal husbandry, cattle farming, poultry, road constructions, rail transport, air transport, shipping. These are brought under the influence of the private sectors. Private sectors they have to produce many goods, for example, durable goods, non-durable goods, electrical goods, electronic goods. It produces fertilizers, chemical products, foodstuffs. Number of goods are manufactured by private sectors to meet the domestic consumers. In addition to satisfy the global buyers also. Many global buyers would like to buy the goods from only private sector because private sectors only which produce quality goods, standard goods, large quantity of goods, considerable prices, both quality and quantity. That's why number of foreign consumers, global consumers would like to buy goods from only private sectors. In this lesson, I taught about importance of the public sector. In between public sectors and private sectors than private sectors, public sectors only give more importance for the welfare of the peoples. Then private sector also. Today private sector also, as like public sector, private sector also gives much importance for the welfare of the people. In between public sector and private sectors, public sector service oriented sectors, private sectors profit oriented sectors. In public sectors, workers work only minimum 8 hours. Whereas in the private sectors, workers work more than 12-14 hours. Private sectors produce quality goods, fine goods, machine goods. They produce large scale. They produce surplus goods. They meet basic needs of the country. As like public sector, private sector also have to pay the tax to the government, to increase the income of the government, to increase the revenue of the government. Private sector also play a vital role for employment generation of the people. Its role also very important. Both the public sector and private sector coexist in the mixed economy. Two sectors only play a vital role for entire economic system of the country. India's economic system, political system, social system, cultural system, educational system, life expectancy, status and dignity of the people, employment of the people, revenue of the people, which are depending upon the influence of both the public sector and private sector. In this lesson is very important one because we should know about what is public sector, what is the private sector, what is the definition of public sector, what is the definition of private sector, what are the functions of public sector and private sector, what are the role of the public sector and private sectors, what are the differences between two sectors, what was their role, what are the importance, what are the objectives and aims of public sector and private sectors. Name the public sectors, name the private sectors. Many materials we explained in this lesson. Please don't misuse this opportunity. You should give your special attention towards these programs to learn something. If you have any doubt, please call the teacher. The teacher is ready to clear your doubt and help you always. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.